because not everybody has a huge heart. Some people are probably gonna come for me in the comments, but so I do think there should be a better system in place. They have it all figured out, they know what they're doing, they know where they're going, they have themselves sorted out. Hello my beautiful friends and welcome back. I don't know if you notice anything different about me. You probably don't, you know, it's not all that obvious, not that obvious at all. So your girl got a fringe and I honestly don't know why I didn't do this 10 years ago. Honestly, if you are thinking about doing a hair thing and you've been putting it off for years, go and do the hair thing, because you're probably not going to regret it. And like someone said to me, it's just hair, it's going to grow back anyways. But like, I literally feel like a new woman with this fringe. I'm like, I feel like a Jacinta. Like, I'm no longer Jessica. Like, who's that bitch? I'm Jacinta. So now that I'm a proud owner of the fringe, a few things are going to have to change around here. I'm going to have to get it cut every 3 to 4 bloody weeks, because as you can tell, if I don't, I won't be able to see you guys anymore. 2, I'm going to have to wash my hair more than twice a week, because fringes like to get greasy every other day for some goddamn strange reason. Oh yes, and 3, if you tie your hair back for any length of time and then you've tried to put your fringe down, he looks strange. AKA right now. He's looking a little bit voluminous, you know? Okay, Jessica, shut up. Nobody bloody cares. Today, I'm here to give you my opinion on a lot of things. Why? Because sometimes I like to feel like my opinion matters and is valid, even though it really isn't. But we're going to do it anyway. Also, right before I filmed this video, I was looking in my suitcase for something to wear for this video. And I opened my suitcase and I realised that my fake tan had leaked all over my case, all over my clothes, all over my makeup. So I'm here to give you a little reminder to not bring fake tan in your suitcase, no matter what the circumstances are. I don't care what you need it for. It's not worth ruining all of your belongings. It's just not worth it. Sometimes I just annoy myself at how much I talk. Like, can I ever just shut up for a minute and like get to the point? Like, get to why we're here? Like, duh. Okay, so I jumped on my Instagram and asked you guys what you would like my opinion on, and that is where I'm going to be pulling these questions, whatever you want to call them, from today. So the first one is, okay, my boyfriend really does pick the right times to call me, doesn't he? Like, just as I'm about to jump into the video after about 10 minutes of talking. Hello? Hi. No, I was not napping. I was actually just about to film a video, but you just interrupted me, so there you go. So the first one is the, oh, here. Where did that noise even come out of? Like, I swear I left my phone in the other room. The first one is the walk of shame. So basically, if you don't know what the walk of shame is, this is the walk you do after a one night stand, and it's called the walk of shame because you're meant to be all full of shame walking away. I don't really have an opinion on it. Like, you know, why is it called the walk of shame? Why isn't it like the walk of happiness or the walk of pleasure? Like, yeah, I just had an orgasm last night or this morning and I feel A1. Like, you know what I mean? Once it's consensual and you're being safe about it, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So the next one is the capitalistic mindset of work hard all the time to be happy / glamorization of workaholism. Okay, so I honestly think that this mindset is so harmful and so toxic and so damaging, because working hard all the time does not equal happiness. Money does not equal happiness. None of that equals happiness. In my opinion, I think that mindset is so toxic because I feel like a lot of people burn out when they do that. And I myself have been there before, you know, where you just working so much and like work is literally your life, that you burn out, because a human being, a human mind can only process and can only do so much in a week, in a day, until they will burn out and they will have a mental breakdown. Because if you're not taking enough time for yourself, for self-care, like just to spend time with yourself, like spending time with family, friends, and just having your downtime where you can, you know, reboot and recharge your batteries. If you're not doing that, your mental health is just gonna go woo. Like, yes, it's important to work hard, but it's also just as important to work hard on your relationships, whether they be romantic or friends or family, and work hard on yourself and work hard on getting to know yourself and spending time with yourself and learning about yourself and bettering yourself. Like, everything does not revolve around money and work, you know, it doesn't. Why is that the way then that so many celebrities, so many millionaires and billionaires have committed suicide and are miserable because money doesn't make them happy. They have everything that the average person could want and they're still not happy. At the end of the day, I honestly think happiness comes from your relationships, the relationships in your life, whatever kind of relationships they are, romantic, family, friends, the relationship with yourself. That is where happiness is at the end of the day. That's what I think. Assigning children a religion from birth. Okay, this is such a good one, whoever sent this in. It's something I would have actually never even thought of, but it's something that I actually don't agree with. It's actually mental, isn't it, when you think about it, is when a child is born, that just say their family is Catholic, then their child is Catholic, but that child is its own human being, its own person. That child is going to grow up with its own thoughts and its own beliefs and its own dreams and whatnot. So why is a child assigned a religion from birth? I honestly think the way it should be is that you should get to choose your religion like when you get to like a certain age, maybe when you're like 18 or something, so you're like old enough to kind of understand it and do your research and all that jazz. But yeah, like, why is that the way? Like, I just feel like that's such an old school thing that is still being carried on through the generations. It's just like a lot of things in this world nowadays. They need to change, but they're not changing, but hopefully one day they will change. What should you do if you don't know what to do after school? Okay, so I didn't know what I wanted to do after school, and I think most people don't know what they want to do after school. Honestly, when I was like 15, I genuinely thought that 21-year-olds, like, I used to look at 21-year-olds and be like, oh my god, like, I can't wait to be that age. Like, they have it all figured out, they know what they're doing, they know where they're going, they have themselves sorted out. It's going to be amazing when I get to that age. And I'm here, 21. I'm 22 in like, 3 months, and I'm just like... So when I finished school, because I didn't know what I wanted to do, I actually took a gap year, and taking a gap year was the best thing I ever did. So a gap year is where you just take a year out, and I just worked for the year, and a lot of people actually do that, and it just gives you a bit of time to process that like one era of your life is over and you're starting like a new era, a new chapter, and just kind of take that year to really figure yourself out. That's what I did in my gap year. Like, I spent a lot of time getting to know myself, getting to know who Jessica was, because before that I really didn't know. Like, I was very confused about who Jessica was and what Jessica wanted, and after that gap year, a lot of things were much clearer in my head than they were prior to taking that gap year. So I honestly think that's my best advice. If you are in a relationship with the person you know you're going to marry, should you marry young or wait? Okay, now this kind of question is something that everyone's going to have a different answer on, and it's complete personal preference. It comes down to so many different things. There's a lot of factors that come into this, like how old are you guys, how young are you talking, how long have you guys been together, are you living together? Like, I just feel like there's so many questions I have for you, and if you could answer all them questions, I feel like I could give you such an exact answer. But I personally feel like if you know for sure you are going to get married and you have the money for it, and you know it's not something that would be causing you guys a lot of stress, I don't see why not just marry young. I know a lot of people in our generation are actually deciding to not get married at all and stuff like that nowadays, but I'm one of those people who 100% want to get married and I cannot wait. So yeah, I would honestly just say, if yous are 100% certain and you know yous are ready for it, just go for it. Why the hell not? Antidepressants and counselling. Okay, so I've got experience with both antidepressants and counselling. We love a depressed queen. But yeah, so I honestly think that they are both so needed and they both save lives. 100%. Without biting around the bush. Like, I think so many hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people would not be alive here on this planet in this moment in time if antidepressants or counselling did not exist. In regards to antidepressants, so I do think there should be a better system in place. Maybe there are in other countries, but here in Ireland I just feel like the system isn't great. I feel like before they prescribe you antidepressants you should have to get like a proper assessment, because I just feel like in Ireland, from some things that I've seen, that you could literally go into the doctor and be like, I'm sad, I've been crying every day for the last week, and they're like, okay, here's some antidepressants, drugs, we're going to put you on a high ass dose. Like, I just feel like in Ireland the system is really bad when it comes to mental health. It's awful. And as you can see, even after the budget, like, the amount of money being put into mental health is just shocking. Like, they're hardly putting any money into mental health, and they have so much money there, and I just feel like the mental health services in Ireland are so outdated, and it's something else that needs to be so updated and literally cleared out and start afresh. But yeah, I feel like they should definitely be ruling other things out before they're just like, here's some antidepressants. Like, they should be checking your thyroid, they should be checking, do you have any other health conditions that maybe could be causing depression or anxiety or whatever the case is, or could it be a different mental health illness altogether and it's not depression or whatever, you know? I just feel like in Ireland a lot of mental health things are misdiagnosed and just brushed under the rug. But for people who do have a chemical imbalance in their brain, then antidepressants are an actual absolute lifesaver. They really are. And then counselling. So over the years since I was 15, I've actually been to a few different counsellors, so I do also have experience with this. And again, I think counselling is freaking amazing. Do you know they actually say that talk therapy is one of the biggest success rates in the world, is it? But it's up there with one of the highest success rates of any treatment for mental health, because it's something that we don't do, and so many people just keep things bottled up inside, don't talk about it. And it's why I preach so much how you should let it out and open up and express how you feel, because it is so true when they say a problem shared is a problem halved. By just letting it out and sharing it with someone else, and you're not just holding it in yourself anymore, you instantly feel lighter. And I'm sure you can agree with that. You know, anytime you've ever told someone something and you're instantly just like, oh my god, it feels like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder. Also, just want to say, for anyone watching this who has been considering counselling, I would 100% recommend it. Now, of course, it's not for everybody. You know, it doesn't work for some people, but it works for more people than it doesn't work for. You know, it's just like everything. Of course, you know, there's certain things that don't work for certain people, but when you look at the percentages, the success rates are so high, and I would say it's definitely worth giving a go. You know, you've not really got anything to lose at the end of the day. Abortion and gay marriage being made legal in the north. Is this even a question? Like, do I really even have to explain or answer myself here? Like, my opinion on this is, of course, abortion and gay marriage should be made legal. Why isn't it already flipping legal? Why are we only going through this process now? You know, I don't know, some people are probably going to come for me in the comments, but, you know, I'm such a believer of, why do you have an issue with the way anybody else lives their life, you know? It ain't affecting you. You know, why don't you worry about yourself instead of worrying about other people and who other people love, you know? I'm personally all for both abortion and gay marriage. I actually made a whole video on abortion, and I'll link it down below. And if you guys wanted to go and watch it, it was actually when the referendum was going on here in Ireland. But yeah, I'm all for both of them, because I really do believe that every person should have the choice to live their life the way they want to, you know? And I go into proper detail in regards abortion in my abortion video. I'm not going to sit here and talk about it for 10 minutes, even though I could. I just don't know why people care who loves who. Love is freaking love. Love is love. And the sooner you get that into your freaking head, the better. And the freaking sooner we can all be happy and actually worry about important things and important matters that are going on in this world, because gay marriage certainly is not one of them. It shouldn't even let us love who we want to freaking love, and off with you. First time, is it really a big deal or is it exaggerated in our culture? Okay, so I'm assuming that you mean the first time having sex, losing your virginity. I do think it is exaggerated in our culture by a long shot. Like, I feel like it's just made out to be this huge deal, and it's really not. I think what is a big deal is making sure that the first time you do it is with someone that you trust, like really freaking trust, with someone who respects you and you respect them, and that they can also trust you, and that you feel comfortable and that you're ready to do it and you're not being pressured into it. All these things are what matters, not actually, you know, having sex for the first time. That is irrelevant. These things, relevant. That thing, irrelevant, you know? And I just feel like, even myself, I know when I was younger, before I ever lost my virginity, it was such a big thing in my head. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, I swear, the world could have been ending. Like, I made it out to be this huge ordeal in my head, probably because of the way society portrays it to be this big deal, as you're saying. And I'm guessing that's probably how you're feeling, or maybe someone you know feels, and that's why you're asking it. But yeah, it's really not a big deal. I'd honestly just say, if you're young and you've not lost it, don't worry about it at all, but just make sure that you make sure all these things are definitely happening before you do the deed. Okay, how to not feel like crap when friends don't treat you with the same love you treat them. Like, I always try to be there for everyone but never get the same treatment back. Okay, so I found this really interesting. Okay, so only a week ago I was actually a little bit upset over something, and I was talking to somebody who means a lot to me in my life and I'm very close to. And, you know, this person was saying, you know, they were like, Jessica, I've honestly never met someone with such a good heart as you have. And do you think that sometimes you maybe get hurt when people in your life don't have the same heart as you do and wouldn't do the same things that you do for them as they do for you? And I literally just like had like a breakdown. I was just like, oh my gosh, I was just like and honestly, like, you know, maybe it's the case, you know, because I'm such a, like, I don't know, the way I am is, you know, I'm very sensitive and emotional and in touch with not only my emotions but the people who I care about and I'm close to's emotions. And I also would go above and beyond for people that I really truly care about, but that isn't always reciprocated, and when it isn't reciprocated, I can take that quite personally. I think what I had to just realise is that everybody shows love and affection and care in different ways, and everyone has a different way of expressing themselves. And just because it's not the same way that you express yourself, it doesn't mean they don't love you, and it doesn't mean they don't care. It just means that you have a huge heart, and that's a great thing, because not everybody has a huge heart. But just because they don't have as big a heart as you doesn't mean they're bad people, and doesn't mean they don't love you, and doesn't mean they don't care about you. We're all different, and if we were all the same, the world would be so boring and so shit, and the world would not go around. So you've just kind of you've got to look at it as a case of you're different to them and they're different to you, and that's okay. And you've just got to accept that, you know, and stop taking it so personally, because I've been the same very recently. You know, this only happened to me about a week ago, and I did get very worked up on myself and whatnot, but I came to that realisation, and honestly it has helped a ton, and I think that is something that will really help you as well. So yeah, so friends, that's the end of today's video and me giving you my opinion that you really couldn't give a damn about, but here we are. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I cannot wait to see you all in my next video, and I love you all so very much. And also, if you have anything you would like my opinion on in the next one, just leave them down in the comments box below. But yeah, love you so very much, friends. Bye bye.